Recording in progress. Hey everybody, welcome to F1 or F off, your audio pit stop for F1 news, reviews, and race reviews, and other more reviews. Um, I'm your host Gabe.
What's up, guys? It's Idris here. Reviews of reviews. Right.
Reviews of reviews. We could do that.
We could
That's
do,
that's a very millennial coded thing to do. Review other people's reviews and tell them how wrong their reviews are.
or do like F1 or F off reacts to other Formula One content creators' reactions.
Oh God. And then
I mean,
just
just
the
make it.
reaction to the reaction.
Oh yeah.
It's just us wearing wigs having a different reaction. These guys are stupid. Lando Nation. Is that what his fans are called? Is it Lando Nation?
I,
It feels like a very bro thing,
is
like
that
a Lando.
is that what they actually say?
No, it just
Okay.
feels like calling them Lando Nation feels like a very it feels like a very high testosterone way to speak of your fan base.
But it's
you
funny
know?
too because he doesn't give off the vibes of being like macho, right?
No,
In the
no,
traditional
he
sense.
doesn't. No,
He seems like just like he's just a dude, you know? Like
neither does Max.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
Max attracts those kinds of dudes.
Because he's ruthless, man.
I guess,
ruthless.
yeah, it was ruthless. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure each of them have like their fan base, and I'm sure they have like their fan names. Um, I would like to know what the Yuki Tsunoda fans are called. Like,
I'm
like
just
the
I'm just thinking about his his pose in the intro from last season. Just
I mean, honestly, he would have done. It would have been a better T pose than Russell did, because Russell did kind of the wing thing. But like, if Yuki Tsunoda was just like, it would have been incredible.
like
And I was
default
thinking
character
about
pose
that.
A.
Right. Well, and I was thinking about that though too. Watching the intro, do you think? I think if Russell does the T pose thing for next year, it's just going to be like, all right, man, let's lay that meme to rest.
I mean,
I don't really think anybody's using it anymore.
I don't think think I don't know. It doesn't bother me. Um, I think the issue is that whoever the film director was, they had him walking while doing it, and it doesn't fit.
Hmm.
Right? Like he did that because he was standing between two walls.
Right. Right.
Ergo, continue to put George between two walls so he can do that in different ways.
Right.
That's what they should do. Like, don't make the
Right.
man walk. It just looks dumb when he's walking with it.
Well, like I mean, this year it's just him standing in the T pose.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's just standing, but he's walking though, right? It's like a half a second snippet of him just taking a step forward as he's doing it and looking
Is
up.
it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. It just looks
That's
like he's just standing.
no, that's why it looks so weird. Yeah.
I thought, yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought it looked weird because there weren't any walls and it was just his hands, just
No.
like out.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, in another scenario, yeah, like
You'd be like in that Creed music video where the guy falls off the cliff.
we don't want to open under the sun.
Is it that one? Which is I thought that isn't the one where he falls off the cliff, isn't that the one where it's like, hold me now,
It's,
I'm 6 feet from the edge. I think that's that one.
I don't recall.
There's somebody out there that's an expert in the Creed music video lore.
Yo, Creed. I know Creed gets like, it's one of those things where everyone kind of jumps in on the joke, but like, Creed is fine. The music's fine.
I
Same
feel
with
like
Nickelback. Same with there's a lot of and intergeneric, pop rap artists here. They make a hit or two. You're like, okay. You know?
I think what happens is that like music has a trends in music have a lifespan, right?
Sure.
And then what ends up happening is, particularly if it's very popular, the last the last band or the last group that clings to that particular trend or that particular style
Hmm.
is always viewed as like the worst version, right? Because
Mm.
it's like they've reached they've gone over the apex and they are now down to like the beating a dead horse sort of territory. And
Mm.
I feel like Creed and Nickelback were like the last of the sort of like Eddie Vedder Pearl Jam like hurl sort of vocal thing
Mm.
that happened in the 90s. I mean like Hootie and the Blowfish had it. There were so many like 90s bands who like they sang through their teeth, hurl,
Mm.
hurl. And I think like Creed and Nickelback were kind of like they're like Nickelback was like the sort of uh like grumbling sort of like screechy end of the grunge era, if that makes sense,
Mm. Yeah.
like another example, you don't hear the millennial whoop anymore in any songs, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad about. It's just like when people stop saying on fleek, like I'm glad on fleek is over, and I'm glad that then
Man,
it's done,
I'm personally I'm really hurt about the whole like on fleek thing, and in the sense of like I'm so like people don't even we're not even using it the right way.
right,
They hear things from subcultures and they're like, oh, let me just start using this, and then it gets
right,
mainstream, and then it's just like same with bussin', same with
yeah.
everything. No one uses it the right way. It's like what you
Well,
don't even know what you're saying,
it
you
was
know?
funny. You told me I thought bussin' was like this new Gen Z thing, but then
No,
you told me that that's been used for years.
yeah,
And then I heard somebody, I forget what it was. I was listening to maybe it was like Tribe Called Quest or Jurassic 5. Somebody in the beginning of one of those songs goes like, "Yeah, we bussin'," and I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh,
Like almost every
okay."
like look, let me just like I will just state this on this podcast so everyone knows. Almost everything you hear in mainstream pop culture comes from Black America. That's where it comes from.
Yeah,
And then it gets into the mainstream and then it just gets like diluted and watered down and then people
yeah.
aren't even using it the right way and then it's just killed. And it's just like goodness gracious. Like it's ooh,
Yeah. Well, I
it
mean,
makes
to
me
be
so like
fair, like a lot of white people don't even know how to use white culture properly. Like, like we do a lot of like a lot of I see a lot of people like making fun of how like a lot of like white people tend not to season or flavor their food all that
yeah,
much.
or put raisins in potato salad. That's the other one I
Yeah,
see.
right.
Which
But
is
then it's
just
just
some
like
crazy work. I've never heard of that in my life.
right, but then like it'll be like a stitch of a video of somebody trying to demonstrate that they know how to season food, and then it'll be like a further stitch of somebody else, like a like a person of color being like, no,
That ain't
not
it.
even close.
That ain't
This
it.
ain't it. Yeah,
Dude, I think there was you remember a couple summers ago, there was that someone posted on Twitter. This is back before Twitter became like right-wing propaganda machine and a
right.
cesspool. Um it was oh man. Yeah, someone was like, "Oh yeah, I just had to do some spring cleaning and I finally reorganized like my spice cabinet." And it was like regular table salt, black pepper and like garlic powder. And then like all the comments from Black Twitter were like, is this cabinet number one?
Is this
Is this-
is this cabinet number one?
Dude, and then other people responded like, "Oh yeah, me
Oh,
too." It's like salt, black pepper. I think the most the craziest thing some people had was like garlic, oh my goodness, paprika maybe
oh, paprika.
or
Ooh,
or chili powder. He's like, "Ooh,"
oh, getting spicy up in here with your paprika. Oh
and
man.
McCormick paprika at
Oh,
that. Not
I mean, don't.
even.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't even get me started about smoked paprika. Oh, um,
Oh man.
yeah, I admit that most of the time I just, I'm just using like the Italian generic seasoning, but like I
Mm.
tried using some other stuff, like it just
Oh yeah,
whatever I
no,
think
no.
works,
It's whatever
you know.
works. It's whatever works, man.
Um, but yeah, no, I mean, you know what really always gets me going with spices is traditional Indian food. And every time like
Mm-hmm.
I smell that,
Mm.
I'm like, I don't know what I'm smelling,
Yeah.
but it is amazing and I trust
Mm-hmm.
you to make it properly and I will
Mm-hmm.
buy it and eat it.
Yeah.
Like,
For
I
sure.
ain't about to butcher whatever
Yeah.
little curry you're about to mix for me.
Or
Um
yeah. or tikka masala or butter chicken or anything like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like there's like I don't know. I feel like there's a it's like a respect for the culture, right? Like a respect for the
Hmm.
culture that's coming from. It's like let me do it this way, right? Because like
Right.
this is how it's intended. And of course, yeah, people you can modify and like dial back on spices and flavorings and stuff. But
Yeah. Okay.
um,
I know we got to talk about the race, but just one
yeah,
more thing while we're on this food subject, because I want to get your hot take on this. Okay.
yeah.
Um, we got some burritos, and across from the burrito place there was a Baskin Robbins, and Baskin Robbins was offering a full-sized brownie, cosmic brownie ice cream pizza.
Okay, there's a lot
And
going on there.
yes, my immediate thought was, do these companies know what pizza is? Because here's the thing. Do they think people eat pizza because it's in a circular disc form? It's like, no, we eat pizza because
Mm,
it's bread and sauce and cheese and toppings, and it's
mm,
a good delivery system for that thing. Why would I want to eat ice cream? I mean, it's not pizza. It's just an ice
yeah.
cream disc with, brownie disc with ice cream
Mm,
on it. And it always fascinates me when I see people do this, like they'll do like, it's a pizza burrito, and I'm like, no, it's a burrito that you put pizza stuff in. That doesn't make it a pizza. Like, you
hmm.
put sauce in. Like, if you'd put pasta in there, would you call it like a spaghetti burrito? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's funny that like the delivery system is what the
Yeah,
name of the food is, and not
yeah,
necessarily what the ingredients are. You know what I
yeah. I
mean?
mean, it's like ice cream cake, right? Like, you remember that
Yeah,
weird fad, that weird thing that happened for a while? Like,
sure. Yeah.
ice
I
cream cake,
mean,
why? Like, it's just ice cream.
I know, it's funny because like I did love me some ice cream cake, but you're right. It really didn't have a cake component.
Yeah,
Like, it was
right.
just it was an
In the
ice
shape,
cream cylinder.
right?
But I guess that's not as attractive as saying ice cream cake.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever.
Anyway, well,
There's some.
speaking of spice, yeah, let's talk about this Mexican Grand Prix because everyone was really hot,
Bro,
real spicy.
man, that was. How about that for like lap one of a race? Man, this was a good race.
It
It
was
was real,
good, and
and then, dude, and then we got, and then we, I don't know, we were teased at the end there with a really, really, banger of an ending, but whatever.
oh yeah,
That's neither
what
here nor
was a
there.
little controversial too.
Man,
You know?
you can imagine me as a Hamilton fan how I'm feeling. Like,
Oh yeah, sure. No, 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 for real. And I mean, and I want to talk about that specifically too, but also like this goes back to something we were talking about how their radio is just rampant, and we just are hearing everything, and
mm,
everyone was like, Alex
mhm,
Albon was pissed.
man,
Max was really confused because he was getting he was getting the radio of like the entire team.
yeah,
You have like Lewis Hamilton and all the stuff that's going on with him. You had Russell was like having a fit,
like a hissy fit, dude,
a hissy
man.
fit. Yeah. Well, yeah, let's start with the first six laps because obviously there's a lot that happened. So I feel like Max is running off the track. Like, have we seen him?
Oh, we're gonna
I,
start there. You want to start
oh
there,
yeah,
and not
right at the
not the
start.
four wide?
Oh well, I mean, yeah, I mean, well, the results, yeah,
Mm,
like the four wide resulted in
right.
Max running off the track, but yeah, well, I mean, Norris sort of like was just like he had a good start, and he was just like, all right, guys, see you later, and then that just left what was Leclerc, Max, Hamilton, and
Russell.
Russell, yeah, going four wide into that first turn. And Max decided to make an outside move that nobody thought he was going to do, and I don't even know if he thought he was going to make that
Yeah.
work. I think this is what Max does. I think Max takes chances on things,
Hmm.
and then when they like he takes enough chances on things thinking, okay, well, if this fails, I'll just bail out and just like, skip the track and then just hop on and then we'll litigate it later. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? I think that's how Max operates. I think he thinks
I think it's smart.
It's like what's that phrase where it's like you act
Ask for
first
ask for forgiveness. Yeah, beg forgiveness versus asking for
for
permission.
permission.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what he does. I think
Yeah.
he does things and then he's like, "Oh, well, they'll figure it out later and we'll give us time to come up with a justification while
Hmm.
they're adjudicating it."
Yep.
Um but apparently he rejoined and he didn't gain any position in any time. He just rejoined basically where he was. But at the same time, that was lap 1, turn 1, right?
Hmm.
So like the cars are all bunched up, right? So it's a dangerous thing to rejoin at that point. I mean,
Sure.
when you're really in the beginning of the race like that, because any number of things could happen. Someone could get pushed wide, punch into you. It's always going to be chaos in that way. But what I really want to talk about is what happened to Lewis Hamilton and Max 5 laps later, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so Lewis was in the similar position that Max, I think, was in, right? Where he was, or no, wait a minute. No, was Max on the other? No, he was on he was on the outside of that turn. And so they were basically in that same position. Lewis and him had made slight contact, and Lewis just took the escape road, but then he veered away from the escape road and bumbled onto the grass, and then rejoined in a position that they said gave him an advantage. A classic Verstappen move.
Hmm.
If we're gonna be honest, seen Max do that many times, and I know a lot of people will probably be upset hearing that being said, but it's true. Um, and he subsequently got a 10-second penalty.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts about that. Um, if you look at
Ki-
that escape road that they put down,
Yeah. Yeah.
that looked like too sharp of an entrance
It's
for an escape
long
road.
and windy. Yeah.
It's like, but like it also, but it almost dumps the driver out at a 90-degree
Yes.
angle on the
Yes.
track,
It's just
right? So I'm like, what did they expect him to do? Like drive
yeah.
up, stop, and then make it like, you know what I mean? Like that,
Hmm.
and like that would have been a really, I feel like a really dangerous place to re-enter the track without momentum because people were still there was still some
Hmm.
bunched up of traffic as it was only lap 6. There was still a lot of cars around.
Yep.
And all it would have taken is somebody trying to make a passing move into turn 2 or turn 3 and they would have hit Hamilton like right like would have T-boned him, right?
Hmm.
So I think that like Hamilton sort of taking the straightest path possible in order to have enough momentum to regain the track at a decent speed to where he's
Hmm.
not like there's not like a huge speed difference between the next cars coming up behind him. I think was the safer move to do. Also, he was on I mean also like it was early on in the race, right? I mean he had a couple of laps to get his tires warmed up, so his tires were probably pretty warm, but still like going across the grass, locking up on the dirty part of the track, where was he going to go? I don't know. What was your reaction when you saw it? Like what did you think?
I was surprised to see that there was a 10-second penalty for that. I mean, I don't know. I think what I'm thrown by is the lack of consistency with the application of the ruling across other incidents that happened. Because it wasn't
Yeah,
just Lewis. Lewis was not the first one to do something like that during the
right.
race, right? Charles also did that to Lewis, like, was it lap 1 or 2?
Mm-hmm.
And then, Max later on, right? Or earlier, who escaped that, right? So I don't know if it's more of a thing that I'm upset that there was a penalty. Well, I think what I can say about the penalty is that 10 seconds seems really egregious.
Yeah,
That's a race ender,
that
right?
seems
That
like a
is
lot. Yeah.
yeah, that seems like a lot. Um, I think a 5 second, like it's still a lot, but at least you can do something with that, right? You can still maybe compete. Um, I don't know. I think the biggest issue for me was just the severity of the judgment and the lack of consistency across the board. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah, 10
that's what
seconds is a
really
lot.
10 seconds is a lot. Yeah, and I know the teams agreed that it should be 10 seconds now, which for reason being that I think some people were taking advantage of the rules like last season and maybe even earlier in the season too, and they just needed to be like reined in a bit to
Hmm.
really disincentivize like taking the escape road or trying to take the car, get all four wheels off the road,
Hmm.
and gaining some kind of advantage from that, whether it be on position or timing. But really, at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that it doesn't feel like it was applied equally to everybody. There was no
No.
investigation into Charles about what happened there. Also, like Charles almost took out Lewis doing that
Hmm.
exact same thing, right? So I would imagine that there are probably radio calls back and forth between Lewis, Charles, and the team, like, hey, like watch it. You guys are racing each other like maybe a bit too hard, that sort of thing. But I don't know. And I don't think you can blame Max in this too. Like if I were him, I'd do the exact same thing, right?
Hmm.
Because the stewards always they are they're never Max is very pragmatic. And the stewards I think are more willing to let things slide sometimes
Hmm.
when it's a little murky and just
Yeah.
say, "Oh, just don't do it again," and we'll let it go, right? And then the
Right.
next time they'll actually pass some kind of judgment. But for Max to not get any kind of penalty out of this, no, I think people are blaming him. It's not his fault, right? It's up to the stewards, and ultimately they have to be the adjudicators and do it properly.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like I don't think Max did anything wrong. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
no.
that Lewis was on a dirty part of the track. He was trying to pull a move.
Hmm.
And he slid and lost his momentum, and so he just took the escape route because that was like, helps me. I mean, it's early on in the race. Like you're starting in a high position, you're starting in a podium position, you know, Lewis is trying to, he's trying to salvage his race. Like he can't just like come to a complete stop. I mean, he would have lost multiple places if he had like tried to make that corner and put himself in a dangerous position with traffic coming behind him. So I don't think Max did anything wrong. I mean, obviously, yeah, like he made the turn, he, stayed within the lines.
Yeah.
Um, I think that the problem here is that I feel like that penalty was it was a bit too intense.
Yeah.
I think like I feel like on the one hand you don't want to just slap wrists.
Yep.
You want to have something that's it's like remember that last turn in Austria, right? Where they got rid of the gravel. And so everybody was just running off the track, running off the track, running off the track. And so they put the gravel back. And suddenly everyone's staying within the lines
Yeah.
and nobody's having a problem.
Yep.
And so I think that there is a balance you have to try and find between what is an appropriate amount of penalty for what had happened, or also like where do you apply that penalty?
Hmm.
And I
Exactly.
think like did the advantage that Lewis Hamilton gained from that really make a big difference? No. As we saw that Max had tremendous amount of pace, especially towards the end of that race.
Hmm.
And like I don't I guess for me it's like a 5 second penalty feels like something that like if you deliberately rammed into somebody to push them off the track and then like Max did that one time to I think was it Norris? I think like in Austin, like if it's really egregious and it's like very almost dirty driving or like putting other drivers in risk or like destroying their vehicles or ruining their race potentially, then I think like yeah that would be good. But if it's like I think going across the grass, cutting a corner, I think that's a negligible advantage. That I don't
Yeah.
think it was it's definitely it certainly wasn't 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm agreeing with you. I think the biggest thing that we can say is number one, just put gravel back and it'll fix everything. Because you're right, these guys, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like these guys are
right,
cutthroat. They will take
yeah,
advantage of the system. They'll find
hmm
any kind of way to get in there, right? Whether it's the teams, like the engineers and the designers in the car trying to find loopholes in the rules,
hmm
or the drivers doing it on track. It's the same thing.
Right. Well, and the teams know this too. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have there's some nefarious or like sort of suspicious thing that happens on track, you keep. I mean, you have a race to run, but you
Hmm.
also know that it's going to take them some time to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, and if you take your penalty, they take their penalty at a pit stop. If you're Max and you've got a 20-second lead, over the next person or whatever, like, yeah, take your 10-second penalty at your pit stop, and you'll maybe only lose like a couple of seconds. Like, you might even still
Hmm.
retain track position. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And I think that, like, I feel like in some instances the stewards interfere more than they need to, and
Mm.
it really does hurt the racing in a lot of ways. I mean, like, you don't want drivers being dirty, but they're also like, these people. It's like, you have to decide: are these the most elite, top of the crop drivers that have ever existed in the history of racing, or are they a bunch of 6-year-olds that need to have a timeout every time somebody trips somebody else? You know what I mean? It's like,
Mm.
you guys have to decide. Like, you can't continuously intervene in every single instance and give somebody a 10-second penalty, but then also be like, this is the pinnacle of motorsport and these are the best drivers in the world. It's like, well, then trust them more. Trust that they're
Yeah.
doing things in good faith, and they're not like just always trying to screw somebody over. And if they
Right.
do, and it's pretty clear, take action. you know
Yep. Yep.
but I
Yep.
don't know.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, yeah, these guys, it, it, it all made for a very exciting lap one opening, right?
Right.
Um, yeah, just 10 seconds, man. Steeps. There was someone who ended up with a drive-through penalty. I forget who it was. Was it Ocon? Someone had a drive-through penalty.
May have been. I always forget. Oh, I forget that Ocon is a person. um I remembered Ollie Behrman because he had a great result at this race, and he was really kind of
Yeah.
getting people going. The one thing that didn't happen on camera that was a really big controversy was Liam Lawson almost hitting some marshals on track.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
So I read about it.
Hmm.
That wasn't shown.
No, it wasn't. No, but it was close. Like,
That's
we're like
crazy.
feet, like within feet. And I guess what had happened was there was incident with Carlos and Lawson, and I think they maybe there probably was some debris on track or something. And basically, there was a virtual safety car, or the drivers, all the cars were bunched up in a snake still because it was like really early on. But Lawson took a pit stop to try and fix some damage. And so what happened was that the snake of cars had left that track area, and there was communication to the marshals that they could go out and clear debris or whatever, not knowing that Lawson had pit and he was down the road. And so by the
Jeez.
time he got there, they like leaped out of the way, basically, and he came around the corner. Um, yeah, even under like double yellow conditions, like,
Yeah, it could
they're
have
going
died,
too
man.
fast.
Could have
Like,
died.
it could have been bad.
Yeah.
I've seen some footage of there's footage of people being hit almost like full speed by an F1 car, and it is gruesome. Um,
So I'm pulling. Oh, sheesh, that's super loud. Sorry if that just blew out the speaker.
no,
Did you
I
hear
I,
that?
uh, I heard it, but I didn't. It didn't come through the audio or anything. So, um,
Okay, hold on. I have the video pulled up here.
okay.
I will send this to you for you to also take a look. Okay, so this is muted. Oh my God.
Hmm.
Oh my God. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's ooh,
goodness gracious, dude. That
that
isn't
was close.
that's insane. That's insane. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's bad. That's very bad.
Why did he sprint? Why, man?
It's just like it reminds me of
Why?
yeah, it almost reminds me of Pierre Gasly and Japan with the truck that was on the track.
Yes.
It's just like there has to be. I mean, like the guys from race had said that these are really rare occurrences, so it's always shocking when you see it. Um, but um, but yeah, man, that like it just goes to show you like that this sport is dangerous in every way possible. Like it's not just the guys on track. It's like marshals, like they might be wearing bright orange, but like um the team doesn't have eyes and ears everywhere at every given moment,
Yeah.
and then this would also be, and here's another thing, this would also be a good instance where a spotter would not be a bad idea. Like how IndyCar and NASCAR have spotters, right? Because a
Hmm.
spotter would be positioned at that area and be able to say like, "Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down. There's marshals on the track, marshals on the track," and Lawson would have known to basically come to like a crawl and come around the corner and let them cross safely. They definitely. It's always scary when they go out on a hot track too, and it feels like they were really far across the track too. Like they should have a rule where they're not allowed to be on the other side of the track on a hot track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that was bad. That was pretty bad. Um, but the other controversial thing that happened besides that was at right at the very end. Um, you had this very intense, epic battle between Leclerc in second and
Hmm.
Verstappen in third. Right, Max is just putting in a hell of a drive to catch, Leclerc, and Carlos Sainz, I think he tapped the wall or something happened, but it unsettled his car and he had to
Yeah.
retire, right?
Hmm.
He pulled into an escape road, like a little slip. And apparently the rear of his car was still technically sticking out into the track, like what they consider the track, part of the track and not off the track.
Right.
And so they decided to call a virtual safety car, like right in the middle of this battle between Max and Leclerc. And Sainz, his brakes were technically like starting to smoke, and so they said there was a fire. And so I guess for an overabundance of caution, they hit the virtual safety car
Hmm.
button. Um,
You can also see too from if you are approaching that
mhm.
slip road from that direction, you can see that it looks like the rear of the car is just sticking out, right?
Yeah,
So if let's say something happened and you just went careening off, I mean, you'd be heading straight towards that car. So
yeah. So I feel like it's like it's understandable, and I would rather them have an abundance of caution than just kind of go to the four winds. But still, it was like like Leclerc, man. That was a blessing for him, man. Um,
mhm. Oh yeah, Max
I
totally
mean
would have
that
caught him.
that yeah, that saved his position. So I think I think Max did a tremendous job, and he definitely would have caught him, and he definitely would have passed him.
Yeah.
But speaking of passing, apparently, so Lando Norris won P1, controlled the race from the start, did a great
B1,
job, and
B1.
he's now the championship leader again, which
Mm-hmm.
is cool, right? But apparently a lot of the fans in Mexico were booing him on the podium. And nobody is completely sure what's happening, but apparently there's two theories. One, he had made some disparaging comments about Sergio Perez at Qatar. Um, was it last year? The year before? I don't remember. But basically saying that like Max doesn't have any competition in the team. And like the Mexican fans don't like that, which is understandable because Sergio Perez is their guy.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is apparently some local publication had done a poll or something that basically asked, should Lando Norris give back the points that he was given in Monza when Piastri let him pass?
Hmm.
And apparently, according to the Mexican fans, that would have gone a long way to making Lando Norris be less booed. Um, so it's kind of fascinating to me that they're holding on to a grudge, but it's also really surprising to me that like they're kind of taking Piastri's side on this, or kind of hip to Piastri's end of this sort of struggle. He apparently wasn't phased by it, but that also brings up another point. Like, what do you like? What do you do in that situation, right?
When
Like,
someone boos you?
well, no, like with the papaya rules thing, and like, Norris getting those points because Piastri was told to step aside. I mean, there's always that thing that happens where it's like, they do that with Lewis Hamilton, right? Where it's like if you changed like two or three results, then he would have had like 10 world championships or something like
Mm-hmm,
that,
mm-hmm.
And this is one of those moments, I think. But what I find fascinating is that, remember, I think it was Hungary where Norris had a 7-second lead and he had to give up the 7-second lead to let
Mm-hmm.
Piastri pass to get his first win.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like another one of those instances where it's like, I feel like, okay, people have some short-term memory because they do this all the time. McLaren, this is just McLaren things.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, if the championship decision is decided between the result of what had happened at Monza, I mean,
Mm.
as Prince would say, controversy. I mean, for real though, think
Yeah.
about that. Like, if it's the last race, right, and there's 5 points between
Yeah.
both of them, like
Yeah.
that's crazy,
Yeah.
right? That's insane.
Yeah.
And it would be McLaren's own doing, man. They be sleeping in the bed they made. So
I mean, and it looks like we're about to head that way too, right?
yeah, yeah.
We're absolutely heading that way.
I thought Piastri was going to take it all. I thought he was setting himself up. The fact that this has deteriorated this quickly is really surprising to me. It's wild. So stay tuned. We got what, 4 races left, I think?
4 races left. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think about all the papaya rules and everything that has just gotten us to this point with McLaren just having the potential to lose this to Max completely.
Hmm.
I did not see this coming.
No,
Did not see it coming.
I didn't either. I did not either. And I mean, honestly, it, it's funny in a sense that this is not Red Bull. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
think about this. Like, I feel like now, and I think this really happened once Christian Horner was outed, right? Once he got kicked out, that team is no longer Red Bull, at least for the rest of this year. That team is
Mm.
just Max Verstappen. He might as well
Yeah.
just put his name on the side of the car. You know what I mean? Because I don't think about Red Bull as Red Bull like right now.
Yeah.
I just think
Yeah.
about it as it's just Max. Like Yuki
Hmm.
Yuki might as well just be a third racing bull right
Oh
now.
man, it makes it
I
so
know
sad.
that's so sad, but it's so true, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny to think about that though too, because like in the past, I don't know, it feels like the teams had more uh more presence, I think, than they do now.
I know
Like,
what you mean.
it's like if you were to say like Hamilton and Rosberg, like the first thing you think about is, oh, Mercedes, yeah. If you say like Prost and Senna, you think McLaren, right? But then there's those weird oddities where it's just like Michael Schumacher, you think, oh, Ferrari. But like you don't have to say like Schumacher and Massa or Schumacher and Irving.
Hmm.
It's like, no, it was just Schumacher, Ferrari,
Hmm.
and it's funny to think about how close the drivers and the teams were as far as their like presence in the sport for so long. There's some exceptions to that. Like when I think of Alan Jones, I don't necessarily think of Williams. I just think, oh, Australian driver, yes. Or like KK Rosberg. You don't think KK Rosberg and Williams. You
Hmm.
think KK Rosberg. Oh yeah, that's Nico's dad. like,
Right.
you know, and
What a
so
mustache.
right, right. And so it's funny that like, I think we're entering an era of the sport where the drivers are definitely more of the front of the front of the ship than the teams. It almost feels like the team championship and everything is like kind of secondary, at least to me. And I
Mm.
think that's also borne out in the fact that like I said, like I just Alpine, like I just forget Alpine is there.
Oh my God.
I
Fighting over
forget
16th.
Haas. Yeah, I mean, right. It's just like, okay, you know,
What?
who thinks about? I don't think about Alpine. I like it. I just don't.
Yeah.
The only thing that the last thing that they did that it was of any sort of note or consequence was fumble the Piastri contract and lose Fernando Alonso. That was pretty much the only two things
And
that they had
and
done that made any sort of impact.
I mean, and
Well,
unceremoniously got rid of Jack Doohan. Like, have we forgotten that he
well,
was also the
we
rookie driver this season?
we have forgotten. We
How
have
sad.
I have absolutely forgotten that Jack Doohan was a person that was in the car at the beginning of the year. I completely
Yeah.
forgot about that.
It man, I feel so bad for that guy. I don't even know what he's up to now. Is he off to go do WEC?
I don't know.
Let's see.
You think of like, let's take a moment and think of all the casualties of like the not the real casualties, but the career casualties of like recent drivers like poor Nick DeVries, who I think honestly like Nick DeVries sort of came in kind of hot, and I think he sort of he sort of created his own sort of destiny with being like, I'm going to bring a lot of maturity and experience to this team, and then there's just Yuki in the corner like, what? Um, yeah, man, I'm at this weird place where it's just like I don't I'm excited for the regulation change. I will say
Yep,
that.
I'm with you.
I'm excited to see what these cars will look like, and I'm hoping that this shakes things up enough to really sort of make it interesting. Because usually, like a big rule change comes with a shift in power,
Hmm.
um, and I think that we are. I think we've officially seen Red Bull. I think this is like the last sort of breath that Red Bull has until they go dormant and have to find a way to rebuild. You know what I mean?
Mm.
This is like just the last carryover of the Adrian Newey era, and it's kind of like if if there was like a corpse in a horror movie or something. It's like, oh, they're dead, but then like in the background you see it like get up in the sheet. It's just like it's there's nobody's home, right?
Hmm.
Like nobody's home, but it's still there and it's still functioning and it's still about to murder a person.
Hmm.
So it's like I think that's what we're seeing, because I would be very, very surprised if next year Max, doesn't have a big contract move, like some big move to some big team early on in the season next year.
Yeah. You think so? You think Max might
I
get up and leave?
I don't think Red Bull has. I think they lost a bigger asset than they're willing to admit in Adrian Newey, and
Mm,
I think that I think that losing Christian Horner, even though like it was probably the good thing to do,
sure.
I think to a certain extent they kind of lost a chunk of their identity,
Hmm.
because he was so much that
I
team.
mean, he was Red Bull. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that, I think that they're going to have a slight identity crisis. And I think it's going to take them a bit to rebuild. I think they're about to enter a rebuild period. The real question is who's going to step up and fill the void.
Yeah.
Who's is McLaren going to be able to carry things over to the next year? I mean, there's no guarantee with a big rule change like this.
Yeah.
They might get their formula completely wrong. I mean, Mercedes, like perfect example, right?
Yeah.
The minute they switched into this ground effect era, it was just blobfish, nothing, right? And they're just now getting to a point to where they're like can comfortably compete towards a podium.
Yeah.
Whereas before it's like they were like not
Dude, it was
really there,
bad.
couldn't really get there.
It was
You
bad.
know, it just shows you what happens. It's just like the ebb and flow it's intense. So
Hmm.
yeah, man, I don't know,
Dude, I
but
actually forgot about the Mercedes blobfish car. I gotta look it up real quick.
yeah. Oh, the blobfish. It'll probably be under one of the weird oddities of
Hmm.
like F1 vehicle, design in the future, whatever.
Oh, is
Even
it
though I
the
think
Mercedes W11
I don't remember.
or W12?
Do not remember. But I just know it looked like a blobfish and they went back to silver instead of black, which
Hmm.
I think was also a slight mistake.
Oh yeah, this is it, the W13. Woof. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just kind
yeah.
of like, oh man.
Yeah, yeah, it was weird. It was a
Oh
weird thing to
man.
try. But
Oh
hey, if
boy.
you're not, you gotta take risks sometimes, I suppose, right? So, um, if I could take a quick moment to, um, just talk about before we wrap this up, um, I, I think we had a conversation. Was it the last episode about like streaming services and physical media? Did we have that conversation on here?
Yeah, yeah,
I think so, right?
yeah.
Um, one thing I wanted to say that I didn't get a chance to say at that point is that I started to bulk up my PlayStation 2 era racing game collection a bit,
Nice.
and I decided to buy. I found two copies, or a copy of two games in a series. One, it was the Tokyo Extreme Racing series, right? And so there's Tokyo Extreme Racer 2 or no, 3, and then Tokyo Extreme Racer 0, I think. Both of them are more or less about the same game. But what I'm realizing now, I mean apart from just having the lovely experience of playing a PlayStation 2 game on a CRT TV again, um I'm realizing that like I'm glad that I did not get these games when I was younger
Mm.
because I would not have appreciated it. Because I would have gotten frustrated at the difficulty. I probably would have been confused as to how the mechanics work. I mean, really all it is just you're racing other drivers on a freeway loop, right?
Yeah.
Which is like what they have in Japan. There's like a famous, freeway loop that the drivers will hop on and just you can go in a circle and just circumnavigate the city. You could probably do that in your town because your town has a
Oh
circular
yeah.
highway system.
Yep.
But yeah, I really appreciate the subtlety to it and it's very immersive because you're just driving on the highway. There's no like select a race screen.
Hmm.
You have to catch up to drivers that are driving around. You got to flash your lights
Ooh,
at them.
flashlights. Yep.
And then the race starts and then it's
Hmm.
just basically an outrun. It's like who can get further distance away. And you take penalties if you hit other cars or if you hit the side of the railing and whatnot. But there's like a really extensive car list in there of like just really interesting like off the cuff, like off the beaten path Japanese like JDM cars, and like you can drive a Toyota. I mean, it's in America, it's the Scion XB. I don't know what they called it in Japan, but it's like that box, that like bread box car.
Yeah.
Like you can drive one of those. There's like a litany of like luxury cars. There's a couple of SUVs in there. Um it's really fun. It's got like this like fun soundtrack to it, and the car customization is very ambitious. Ambitious at least for the you can make your own sticker, like it's like Mario Paint.
Mm.
So you can make your own like team logo.
Yeah.
And the sort of like way to like put the, it's like, Need for Speed, you would select the vinyl and it would just be have a predetermined position on the car, right? And then you could change like two of the colors or whatever. This one is like freeform. You can put it where you want it and stamp it and move it and change its like dimensions, which is like that's not stuff that we didn't get that until like, you know, PlayStation 3 era racing Need for Speed racing games. At least I don't, so like it was amazing that this was in here and it just wasn't a game that anybody was playing. So, um, so yeah, man, it's been really fun kind of diving back into those old games on the CRT TV, which honestly, I'm just going to say it, like, you need to do that. If you think like, why would I do that? I have like a 60-inch HD TV. I'm like, it's different. It is different.
Yeah.
Like,
It was designed, those games were designed to take advantage of CRTs,
right.
and people don't realize that.
And even like emulation doesn't always get you there, right?
Well, you can use filters with emulators, to
You
get like
can.
CRT
Yeah.
filters, and actually do a really good job of that.
Yeah.
So kind of helps.
What I will suggest to you, if you ever have any chance to like just try anything else, if you can get yourself a version of the Racing Lagoon game that was made by Squaresoft, you need to do it, because honestly, I think you would dig it more than just because it is a racing RPG. So
Oh
it's just
man.
like it's like Final Fantasy VII meets
Oh
Gran
man.
Turismo, and it's like if you think of it like that, if you think of it as a game like that, it's so enjoyable. The music is incredible. The presentation is incredible. It was only sold in Japan, so I think like, DuckStation, you can probably find a version that has, the English translation.
Hmm.
But it's so wacky and weird, but like man, that game, I could just get lost playing that game. Like it's so insane and fun and ridiculous. It's great. It's got a really bizarre story, but it's always it's that typical thing where it's like, he was the fastest around the Devil's Corner. They called him a crazy driver. He drove like a demon in the night, And it's like,
That's why they call him Night Demon.
it's like, who will be the next fastest driver? And then it's just like, oh, I came across him. He looked insane. He was talking about voices in his head. He was driving faster than I've ever seen before. It's just like, oh my gosh, what is happening here? It's really, really fun. It's really awesome. I would highly recommend you give it a shot if
Yeah.
you ever get a chance to. It's so good.
That sounds fun.
But yeah, outside of that, I mean, yeah, I guess that's all we have to say for Mexico. Is there um
Mm.
anything you're expecting for the next few races? We have Qatar, we have
Vegas,
Vegas, and Abu
Brazil,
Dhabi
Brazil.
and Brazil.
Yeah, I think it's. Is Qatar up next?
I think so. I could be wrong.
See, I think it's so silly when
No,
they're
it should
like.
be Vegas, right?
I think it's Vegas.
That would
So
make sense logistically.
yeah, Next F1 race is. Where are you? I can
Logistically,
read
it should be Vegas, Brazil, and then Qatar and Abu Dhabi.
But it's going to be Brazil. So Interlagos, then it's gonna be Vegas, then it's gonna be
Okay.
Qatar, then it's gonna be Yas.
All
Marina.
right.
You
All
know,
right. I
it's-
mean, it's close enough. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a fun one. I love Interlagos, and so now, honestly,
Mhm.
man, I'm excited about the sprint race because I think the sprint races are gonna be what really makes or
Make
breaks
the difference. Yeah.
makes the
Hmm.
championship shot like a
Yeah.
reality for Max. Dude, if Max wins this championship this year,
Hmm.
you,
You and I want a wrench to be thrown into the works here. And
hmm,
what I want is I want Lando and Max to collide in like the first couple of turns in a rain soaked race, right? And they're both out. And I want Piastri to have either some mechanical failure or like get into something where it's like his wing came off, and so he only finishes like just inside the points, right?
yeah.
And then Lewis Hamilton gets his first Ferrari win. That's what I want at Interlagos.
So like the
Like
monkey's paw.
that's what I want. If it rains, man, like we're in for a good race because I mean
Yeah.
Interlagos is always a fun track, especially with these sprint races. This is a
Mm-hmm.
good sprint race track.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. No, Interlagos is just fun. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
But no, I'm
excited.
looking forward to the next four races. Absolutely.
Oh
See
yeah,
how
oh yeah,
this
big time.
season shakes out. Yep. You want to close this out?
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah, thanks everybody for listening. You can find us anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. If you want to contact us, you can find us at Instagram, Blue Sky. We're putting stuff up on YouTube here and there, all at F1 or F off. You can also email us at F1 or F off podcast at gmail.com. Give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast. It obviously helps us out a lot. Like, subscribe, smash that subscribe button. Um, Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your local representative, share it with your mail person, share it with that one person, that one Costco worker that you always encounter that's really nice. The person that's loading in the chickens, just shout at them. Just be like, hey, listen to this podcast. It's good. People like F1. You sell the cars here. So, yeah, do it. Just do
All
it.
right. Thanks, yo.